No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
My name is Nick. I run Hampton Leftists on YouTube. I'm a citizen journalist.
Yeah.
With my main focus being on state violence, foreign policy, and the class war.
Yeah.
Emphasis being on the class war. Because there is a healthcare genocide of our people. I'm not one of the people that like to mince words. I call it how it is. If you guys don't believe me, imagine the reaction from the mainstream grouping if 68,000 Americans died each year because of terrorism. Can you imagine how much of a national emergency that would be? Now, I come at all these issues at the perspective of a libertarian socialist. And Noam Chomsky himself said the concept of libertarian socialism is government that justifies itself. When you have endless wars that cost billions and billions of dollars, that do not justify itself. When we have giant police budgets that rank number 3 in the world in terms of military budget, that does not justify itself. What does justify itself is when we have government that actually cares about providing health care for its people, because Medicare for all will boost jobs, it will boost wages, it will boost the economy, but most importantly, it will save lives. Now, what I do, and what we do at Hampton Leftists, Fred Hampton was a man who talked about building rainbow coalitions and for fighting for people, and understanding that all our issues are connected. Now, what I tell people all the time is that Medicare for all.
Someone's going bankrupt.
What I tell people all the time, especially people in my community, Medicare for all is the most pro-black policy platform that's being discussed right now. Why do I say that? There is no other community that is affected by medical debt more than the black community. Our life expectancy is 6 years lower than the average white man. My grandfather died 25 years before Henry Kissinger did. Because we don't go to the doctor. Because we can't afford it. So, always try to tell people to connect these issues together. If you're not for Medicare for all, in my opinion, you're not pro-black. Period. Out of the people who hold medical debt, 1 out of 3 black Americans will hold medical debt in their life, which is by far the highest. It's not even close. So, you have infant mortality rates for black women that is about 5 to 6 times higher than their white women counterparts. Once again, what Fred Hampton preached was about solidarity and connecting all these issues together. That's why I advocate, and this is why I fight for Medicare for all. Because not only does it uplift our community, it uplifts everybody.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand how much our system is a fraud. We spend all the money we do on health care on overhead, not on care.
Yeah.
Now you have politicians who want to score cheap points, where they say, we gotta provide health care for everyone who's afflicted with COVID-19, which I agree with. But I want someone to explain to me, I want Joe Biden to explain to me, why do we provide health care for people with COVID but not for cancer? That doesn't make sense. Oh, well, the people who caught COVID-19, it's not their fault. So the implication you're telling me is that the person with cancer, is it their fault?
No.
Our system is deeply immoral
Yeah.
and it's by design. That is by design. And as someone who advocates for my community, I try to tell these people, put pressure on our politicians. We can't rely on them to save us.
That's right.
I just explained to you guys the healthcare crisis that's going on in the black community. Do you guys know Jim Clyburn takes more money from Big Pharma than anyone in Congress?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's supposed to be our representative.
Yeah.
We can't accept this no longer. I refuse to accept it any longer. That's why Medicare for All is something I'm very passionate about, because we deserve to have the same health care as our oligarchs do.
Yeah.
I find it completely unacceptable that people are okay with the two-tier healthcare system that we have. Now, why I advocate for Medicare for All? You have people even floating the public option, which is definitely an improvement of our system. But you guys understand, a public option creates a two-tiered healthcare system, where the insurance companies are able to dump people on the public plans if they don't want to cover them. That's why they love it. So do not accept any other substitutes other than Medicare for All.
That's right.
In a public option, you will have a lot of people, especially in my community, who cannot afford health care. They will be dumped into the public pool, which defeats the entire purpose of what we're trying to accomplish. The point is, Medicare for All saves us all money because we have a giant pool filled with healthy people.
Yeah.
So the cost of health care is decreased.
Yeah.
In a public option, you have a lot of sick people on the public pool because the private insurance companies won't cover the people who have cancer, who have pre-existing conditions.
Right.
These are the conversations that we need to have. And the people who say, oh, Medicare for All, oh, we can't afford that.
Do they look at the defense Pentagon budget this year?
She knows.
Bingo.
She knows. Joe Biden dropping bombs in multiple countries right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Ooh.
They gave corporate bailouts to the tunes of trillions of dollars last year. That's why I say I'll cover the class war.
Yeah.
You must look at the lens of politics under the guise of the class war. They claim that they don't have money for us, but that last year they gave billions and trillions of dollars to the corporations who needed a bailout.
Yep.
Where's our bailout? Where's our healthcare bailout?
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos got a tax rebate last year.
Oh.
They got
How the hell you
Elon Musk got a
pay
bailout.
taxes?
Nancy Pelosi's husband
Yeah.
got a bailout from the government. So you tell me that the wife, who is Speaker of the House, can negotiate a bank bailout for her husband, but we can't afford health care?
Meanwhile, BlackRock's buying up all the property.
How are we going to pay for that? How do we pay for the Iraq War?
Tax them.
So there's nothing better to me than Medicare for All. Because I read into these policies, and under, for example, Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All plan, people who made $30,000 a year or less, they will pay no additional taxes. And once again, I don't know if you guys realize the state of our economy, but 50% of U.S. workers make under $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then as it goes up, once you get to 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, it jumps up exponentially once you get to 100,000 plus. So this is a program that is paid by the rich to make sure that we get health care. Because they stole our surplus value, the value of our labor.
Yep.
And Jeff Bezos is shipping himself out to space with that, and he brags about it. He said, I want to thank all my Amazon workers and employees for sending me out to space. So they are open about it. He's stealing the surplus labor of the people he works for, and they send out to space instead of offering people health care.
Right.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Whenever you hear anyone say we can't afford this, immediately distrust them.
Yeah.
Because they are lying to you.
And themselves.
I am not a fan of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an egomaniac who lies and only ran because he wanted to be part of the club.
Yeah.
To be clear. But it does not square to me when they pretend that Trump is a bigger liar than these people that say we can't afford health care. So, I'm sorry, but when I see Joe Biden go on TV repeatedly and say that we can't afford Medicare for all, despite me reading multiple studies that show that it will actually save money, improve the economy, how is that lie any different from any lie that Trump has told?
It's not.
I want people to become policy-based. I am policy-based. If you're not supporting Medicare for all, if you're not supporting canceling medical debt, if you're not supporting canceling student loan debt, I have no interest. We need to draw the line in the sand. We should have done it years ago.
Yeah. Facts.
Because whether you guys want to admit it or not, politicians care about only one thing. That's your vote. If you vote for them, despite the fact that they are paid by Big Pharma, they will not move to you. They will only move to your direction if you draw the line in the sand, support Medicare for all right now, or we will not show up to vote for you. We will not donate for you. We will not volunteer for you because our people are dying. This is not a game. And you turn on corporate media, do they talk about this? Do they talk about the fact that people go bankrupt just because they take an ambulance?
Yeah.
They ask people in other countries, what do they think we pay for ambulances and health and medical costs? They ask people how much you think someone pays when they have a kid. And they are baffled. You don't believe it? Look it up on YouTube. There are videos where they go to Australia, they go to the UK, and they say, hey, how much do you think an ambulance costs? $10? Then when it's revealed, they are shocked and horrified. Our system is undeniably corrupt, and we gotta stop standing for it because I know people in my personal life who died because they couldn't see a doctor. That is violence. I appreciate you guys listening to what I had to say here, but the corporate media is not gonna cover these issues the way they should. Because they're paid by Big Pharma. They get advertising money from Big Pharma. You gotta stop listening to these people. They'll tell you up is down, they'll tell you the sky is red, with absolutely no shame. So if someone tells you that we can't have Medicare for all, don't trust them. Thank you guys.